Haunted Mansion, Triple Mountain Challenge, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dole Whip Parade, fireworks. Let's go have the perfect day at Disney's Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom officially opens in about 5 minutes. The resort guests have been able to get in since 8:30 as part of early theme park entry. If you are a resort guest, I highly recommend taking advantage of that time to knock some things out in Fantasyland and Tomorrowland, since those are the lands that open early. But if you're not a resort guest, I'm being cut off by the morning show, which is far more important than I am. As I was saying, the left half of the park doesn't open up for early theme park entry. That's Adventureland, Frontierland, and Liberty Square. So if you are coming as a non-resort guest, you should rope drop this way, because you should try and get on Jungle, Pirates, Splash, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, Haunted Mansion, some combination of those first thing in the morning. So that's what we're gonna do. As you can see, lots of people are taking this advice. That's because it's good advice. I booked a Genie Plus for Jungle Cruise at 7 a.m. this morning, so we're gonna skip Jungle Cruise and try and knock out at least one of the mountains in Frontierland, maybe also Pirates and Mansion before the lines get too long. Happy to skip this long standby line at Jungle Cruise that's forming already. And we're gonna go hit one of the other big guys over here. Only a 5-minute wait at Pirates of the Caribbean, but I feel confident I can get a Genie Plus time for it later, or it won't get as long as some of these other attractions we're going to head towards. So we're going to go to Frontierland first. I gotta pee. It doesn't look like Splash has opened yet, so we're going to go to Thunder. Just getting quite a long line already. That's okay. They haven't actually opened the queue up, so it looks like a big cluster, and it is. But once they actually open the queue up, people will fill in there. It shouldn't be too long. It's spring break, but lucky for me, I did pack my patient pants, and I recommend you do the same. They're opening up the queue, so people are starting to move through already. While we're waiting to get through this crowd, let's do our little Genie 101 moment. Genie Plus is the new skip the line system that Disney launched last fall. There's 3 different versions of Genie. There's Disney Genie, which is free personalized itineraries, the tip board, the dining tip board. There's Genie Plus, which is $15 per person per day, and it allows you to skip the line at over 40 attractions across all 4 theme parks. And then there are fancy rides, as I call them, which are individual lightning lanes. They're an additional cost per ride if you would like to skip that, an individual cost. You do not have to buy Genie Plus to buy fancy rides. Currently, there's only 1 fancy ride in each park, and in this one, it's 7 Dwarfs Mine Train. Anybody can book a Genie Plus attraction right at 7 a.m., and I highly recommend being up and at 'em ready to do so, and either booking Jungle Cruise or Peter Pan's Flight at this park. Fancy rides are a little bit different, though. You can book them at 7 a.m. if you're a resort guest, and at the time the park opens if you're not a resort guest. Unfortunately for me, at the time the park opened today at 9 a.m., they didn't have any more 7 Dwarfs Mine Train, so I'm gonna hope one either pops up throughout the day, or we'll figure out a time to ride it without a super long line. When I refer to Lightning Lane, that's just the physical place you go on the attraction. Both Fancy Rides and Genie Plus attractions have Lightning Lanes. It's just the Fast Pass line. It's the line you go through and tap your Magic Band or your card to bypass the main queue. Great news, friends. We're moving and grooving through the Big Thunder queue. Oftentimes, after the initial drop at 7 a.m. or park open times, like 15 minutes later, more Lightning Lanes will pop up. It happens a lot. It's wild. And so I checked around 9:15 to see if Mine Train pops back up, and it did. And it said it was for like 9:45. And then it was like, no, it's going to be 4:30. And then by the time the payment actually went through, it's for like 7. But that's fine. We got Mine Train. Hello, Tony. That's Tony Baxter, the Imagineer of this ride. Anyway, I'm going to do another Magic Kingdom Genie Plus challenge soon. where I try and get all of the lightning lanes in Magic Kingdom, provide you some tips and tricks specifically on Genie Plus and how to navigate it best in this park. Look forward to that as well. In the meantime, we've got plenty of Genie Plus videos that get down into the nitty-gritty. Genie Plus is very helpful in this park, especially now that it's spring break and super busy. So again, we're going to be using a mix of Genie Plus and not Genie Plus today, but we're not going to get too into the nitty-gritty on Genie Plus. Big Thunder Mountain, check. I love that attraction. It is so much fun. I giggle with glee every time I ride it because I'm always just delighted to be there. I only waited about 20 minutes, which is great for one of the big rides in the park. Woo, baby, it is already a busy, busy day here at Magic Kingdom. Big Thunder's already up to 70 minutes. Buzz is 30, Mansion's 20, Jungle Cruise is 75, Peter Pan is 60, Pirates is 35, Mine Train is 90, but more lightning lanes popped back up, so keep an eye out there. Space Mountain is 40. Well, we were gonna do Mansion, but now it's posted 35, which isn't too bad. But I don't feel like waiting in a 35-minute line today. I'm gonna try and keep it 30 and under for the day with the combo of Street Smarts and Genie Plus. So instead, let's go into Fantasyland and do one of my favorite little coffee hacks, and then let's enjoy some non-rides while the lines are really long. Walking to pick up my coffee, I noticed that Meeting the Princesses only had about a 10-minute wait, and it could be a surprise princess. So I figure, let's go meet a princess. Let's start the day with a little royalty, am I right? Meeting the Princesses here in Fairy Tale Hall, there's two sides. There is Cinderella and Elena, and then there's Rapunzel and normally Tiana, but sometimes a surprise princess shows up. They do have Lightning Lane, but you need Lightning Lane for both sides. And it is a pretty popular attraction here, the Gift Along line, so happy to knock this out quick. Hi, Rapunzel!
I love your sparkles!
Thank you, it matches your dress!
I know, I love it. Actually, my Pascal, he helped me add some of the beading work.
He did?
Yes.
He's very talented.
He is. He uses his little claws to do the small detail work very well.
I have a question. Where's Maximus?
Yes. My Maximus, he's making sure that the morning guard has everything that they need.
Okay.
And they're getting ready for a smooth transition into the day.
Okay, good. He's my favorite. I love all of your friends, but I really love Maximus.
Yes, my Eugene in his satchel, he always keeps an apple in there. It's kind of like a peace offering. They're much better.
That's a good idea. Hi, Princess Tiana!
Hello, I've seen you at my restaurant before.
Yes!
Remember?
Yes, I love your cooking.
Oh, well, thank you kindly.
I'm always trying to get as many beignets as I
Oh,
can.
absolutely. I love the beignets with extra powdered sugar on
Thank
them.
you. I get them all over myself.
There
but
we go. That's how you know you're eating them right, sugar. And I love the purple hair.
Thank you.
I gotta see you next year for Mardi Gras. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I can have the purple hair at Mardi
There
Gras.
we go. That would be perfect. And of course, I'll invite my best friend Charlotte, and we'll have a ball
I
together.
love Charlotte.
Oh, me too. She is such a good friend, isn't she?
Has she found her prince yet?
She's still looking for her
That's
Prince
okay,
Charming.
though.
You know, she's been pretty busy with my restaurant. She's been keeping an eye on the place.
That's good.
Well, I'll see you again.
Yes,
down
I'll
in
be
New
there.
Orleans.
I'll have the usual.
The usual.
Yes. Thank you. Tiana told me I could come to her restaurant and order the usual. Oh, I would love if her restaurant really existed. And I picked up an iced coffee from Friar's Nook right next door. Friar's Nook serves shaky Jamaicas from Joffrey's. You can mobile order it. But for some reason, it didn't give me the option to mobile order it till lunchtime. So I ordered it for lunchtime, and then they didn't have a line, and I just asked nicely if I could pick it up now, and the customer said no problem. So being nice always helps. And now we're headed to Main Street for one of my favorite things. I know I've been zigzagging a little bit, but you could get coffee on Main Street at the bakery. However, I chose to scoot into Fantasyland quick to get it just because you can mobile order it and it's a lot faster usually than waiting in line at the bakery. That is a great tip that Pinocchio's Village House, Friar's Nook, you can mobile order Joffrey's Cold Brew there. At Sleepy Hollow, you can mobile order a mocha coffee there. And as you can see, it's already very busy. So we're gonna do some non-ride moments before I can book another lightning lane. And I have a jungle booked a little after 11 as well. You tell me this. Is there anything better than a Dapper Dan's and a nice coffee on Main Street? Not to me. Now the Dans are either going to be performing up there, they might be on the trolley. They also started doing sets back down on the street, and you can see their show times in the My Disney Experience app. But they've been around since 1971, even longer at Disneyland. They're an absolute must for me. It doesn't feel like the Magic Kingdom without the Dapper Dan, so.
She didn't even say she was leaving. Her kisses I love. Followed by, if the phone doesn't ring, you'll know it's me. He's in now, I know. Oh, and she will got to be. I know that she could come to me if she could see. We're broken hearted, lonesome now. Somebody stole mine.
I call my girl Hinges, cause she's something to adore.
Yeah.
Yay! You know, if you came over to my house and you didn't say hi to me, I would think you're really rude. And I feel like the same thing applies here. How am I gonna come to the Magic Kingdom and not say hi to Mickey Mouse? You can meet Mickey in Town Square Theater right at the front of the park. He's in his beautiful iridescent 50th outfit. So there is a lightning lane for this, but it only has a posted 5-minute wait. Usually doesn't take too long, so we're going standby for this one. Always gotta say hi to the boss. Hi, Mickey! Oh my gosh, how are you? You're great? Yeah, I'm doing well too. It's so good to see you. I love this outfit. You always look so dapper, but this is just quite the look. Minnie made it for you? Oh, she's so sweet. She put the castle on it. I have the castle on my earrings, so yeah, kind of match a little bit. Well, I just want to come see you and thank you for having me to Magic Kingdom today. Always have to come say hi to the man in charge. Shopping pro tip. They moved the chapeau over here to the exit of Town Square Theater. There's a great ear selection and hardly ever anyone in here. So, shopping tip. Gosh, is there anything better than meeting Mickey Mouse? I got a little teary because I'm dramatic. But people often ask, like, does it get boring going to the parks every day? Do you get sick of it? But there's like little magical moments every day that I get to be a part of, and the little kid in front of me runs up to Mickey and he goes, Mickey, I'm your biggest fan. And it was so cute, and it just was like, that was awesome. So now we're headed to go pick up our first feeding of the day, a little special morning only treat. Hi, Tigger! Hi! I love you, Tigger! Hi, Eeyore! Ooh, baby, is it busy today. Spring break is no joke. My mobile order is ready here at Sleepy Hollow. This is a little snack stand right on the cusp of Liberty Square that does funnel cakes and Mickey waffles. They also do foot-long hand-dipped corn dogs, but they do one of the best snacks, and it's only available for breakfast till 11 a.m. Say hello to the Nutella and fruit waffle. Again, available at Sleepy Hollow only till 11 a.m. It's a big Belgian waffle with Nutella, hazelnut chocolate spread, and then fresh fruit. I have now found a spot along the parade route because the Mickey Celebration Cavalcade is going to step off in a few minutes, and I'm going to enjoy this delicious breakfast while I see Mickey. Things are going great. It's so delicious, so simple, especially the fresh strawberries. Love the waffle. Definitely one of MK's best snacks. I prefer to snack around this park. There's not a great quick service or table service. The food here generally is kind of mediocre, so I prefer to get snacks here, but we are going to do something extra fun for lunch. Also, as a pro tip, I recommend eating something small at your hotel room or on your way. and not wasting time for a real breakfast. Are you done? Because as you saw, the morning time was crucial to getting on an attraction and doing some stuff before the lines get really long. So don't waste your first hour, hour and a half eating. Try and use that time to knock out some stuff. So feed your kids something that will hold them over, and then you can get a good snack around 10:30 or 11.
I'm so glad you all made it to the celebration! There's magic everywhere!
Even though the parade is back, I still love the cavalcades. That was Mickey's Celebration Cavalcade. It's the one for the 50th, where the Elite 8 are all wearing their 50th extravaganza ensemble, which matches my hair currently. So I think it's really cute. You can check the times for the cavalcades in my Disney Experience app. They all step off in Frontierland and then work their way through Liberty Square and down Main Street, so plan accordingly. But that was perfect to pick up a snack and watch it right on the parade route. It was great. I loved it. Now it's almost time for me to book another Genie Plus. As a reminder, the 120-minute rule. Basically, you can book another Genie Plus Lightning Lane access. This doesn't count fancy rides. Either once you've done the first one, if the first one expires, like if you don't go for some reason, or 2 hours after you booked that first one, whichever of those things comes first. So when I booked Jungle Cruise, it was for 11:10. I booked it right at 7 a.m. Now it doesn't start till the park opens, so I had from 9 to 11 to wait, which means right at 11 I can book another one. So if you book any Genie Plus that starts after 11 a.m. when the park opens at 9, you can book another one right at 11. So I'm gonna start fiddle-faddling, start seeing what's available. My alarm is going off. It's 10:59. That's a great pro tip. If you are going to kick off the 120-minute rule, set an alarm for what time you can book another one. If you ever want to know what time it is, try and book another one, and it'll say, sorry, you can't book another one till this time. But it's a great tip to set an alarm so you don't miss it. All right, it's officially 11 a.m., which means I can book another one. There's plenty of things available. It doesn't look like anything's gone for the day besides Mine Train, which is a fancy ride, isn't showing up again. But my goal is to book something soon-ish that's not too far. So like Haunted Mansion, Splash, Pirates, because I have Jungle in about 10 minutes. So I don't want to walk all the way through Fantasyland. Now Space is normally a fancy ride, but Disney moved one fancy ride from each park into the Genie Plus category through August at least. So it's part of Genie Plus. 50 minutes at Space. But now we begin the Fiddle Faddle, which is my made-up word to just refresh the screen over and over again because new times will show up. Whew, we did it. It took about literally 20 minutes of me sitting there refreshing. And new stuff was popping up, but we have a lunch reservation we have to consider. But I eventually was able to get a Haunted Mansion in about 15 minutes. And my Jungle Cruise has already started the window. So we're going to go ride Jungle, ride Mansion, and then we're off to lunch. And I know it's a bummer that I literally just spent 20 minutes looking at my phone and refreshing, but there's an 80-minute line at Haunted Mansion right now. So I would rather spend 15 minutes refreshing my phone over and over and avoiding an 80-minute line. And I know that's one of the complaints about Genie Plus, but unfortunately it is what it is. You want an idea of how busy it is? That cast member with the sign is the end of the Magic Carpets of Aladdin queue. So we love the Jungle Cruise, a must-do, but I don't want to wait 115 minutes in line for it. Thank you. Now, normally as soon as you tap in, I would recommend starting to book your next one, but I've already booked my next one, so that loophole closed. Lightning Lane doesn't necessarily mean walk on, it just means much quicker and expedited. So 15 minutes in the Lightning Lane, much better than 115 minutes in standby. So just keep that in mind. Also, the reason that Jungle Cruise tends to have a really, really long line and run out of Lightning Lanes quickly is because the main things that factor into a ride's wait are the capacity, how quickly you can load and unload guests, and then of course how popular it is. It's a popular attraction. It's got a very low capacity with these boats, and it takes a long time to get people on and off these boats, which is why the wait is always so long. Compared to like an Omni Mover where you can get people on and off pretty quickly, like over at Haunted Mansion, you're usually going to see a longer line at an attraction like Jungle Cruise. Plus, no matter what, they're going to prioritize the Lightning Lane, so if you're in standby, you're going to wait even longer.
Bye, Skipper Warren.
Bye-bye.
I love you so much. I'm going to miss you. Bye, Warren. Oh, I
cannot stand that girl. Hello everybody and welcome to the world famous Jungle Cruise, where we are world famous. They come with 2 types of paddles, the basic kind and the deluxe kind. But either way, it's really either or. Now if any of you guys are hungry, I recommend the piranha. They're always good for a quick bite. But if you're really not feeling like fish, we do have a snake surprise. Oh, don't worry about that guy. Yeah, he's nowhere near as big as the one in the back of the boat there. Oh wow, that guy right over there tried to charge us. Ah, don't worry. We already have all that information on your magic bands. I think we found the other half of his problem here. Well, you know, people think my job is so easy that even monkeys can do it. It's a good thing those guys are chimpanzees. Now, you know, the Jungle Cruise is actually brought to you by Ziploc, always keeping our jokes fresh, and by Animal Crackers, teaching all kids that animals taste the same. Delicious.
Jungle Cruise, check. That is such a fun attraction. I laugh every time, especially because the skippers often have jokes I haven't heard somehow. And the skipper was like, if you've had fun on this Jungle Cruise today, my name is Skipper Kelly. That's spelled H-E-L-P-M-E. The exclamation point is silent. And I cackled. It was very good. And from one classic to the next, we're taking this little breezeway right here back to the Haunted Mansion. The first parade is stepping off now, so I was able to make it across the street. It's always good to know what times the parades are happening, even if you don't plan on watching it, because the parade could derail your whole day if you can't get around it. So right now, today, it's at 11:30 and again at 3, but they do change sometimes, so always check the app. Haunted Mansion is at an hour-long wait, which is a long time for this attraction, because it's an omni mover and it tends to move quick, so that just tells you how busy it is. But I love this attraction, you love this attraction, everyone loves this attraction. If you don't love Haunted Mansion, we're probably not going to get along very well. This is what we ranked as the #1 must ride in Magic Kingdom if you go watch my Ranking the Rides video. So you got to do it, you must. I've done a whole video on the Haunted Mansion and just all the details and the backstory and the Easter eggs to look for, so you can go check that out as well, because there's a ton of cool Imagineering details in here. And now I am leaving. Gas. I always recommend leaving in the middle of a Magic Kingdom day because it's getting real crowded in here. It's really hot. If you've rope dropped and been here since early theme park entry, you've been up for a long time, it's time to go sit down and eat a delicious meal. Like I said, there's not great dining in the Magic Kingdom. I think Skipper Canteen is a great choice. And there's a few snacky snacks we'll get later that are good choices, but there's much better dining at one of the monorail resorts, Grand Floridian, Polynesian, or Contemporary. So pick whichever one suits your fancy and schedule yourself a 1 o'clock lunch. And along the way, I'm gonna fiddle faddle for an attraction for a time between like 2:30, which is when I predict we'll be back in the Magic Kingdom. So we can pop right on another ride. Made it to our lunch reservation, just checked in using the mobile app and was called to my table. This is Steakhouse 71. It used to be the Wave of American Flavors, but they revamped it and it opened up for the 50th anniversary. I absolutely adore it. It's quickly becoming one of my favorite spots to eat in all of Walt Disney World. It is a table service restaurant, but it's not a signature. The prices are great and the food quality is amazing. Plus, I love all the nods to Walt Disney and the original Imagineers that you see as you come in here. They have great cocktails, the best burger on property, and I've never had anything that I didn't enjoy here. So this is a really great spot to come if you're looking for a little mid-afternoon break from the Magic Kingdom. Taking a look at the menu, they've got fabulous French onion soup, a couple salads. Their onion rings are plant-based, but they are amazing for anyone. The spicy ranch, amazing. Shrimp cocktail, a potato brioche bun, bacon and eggs, which is like a pork belly and grits dish, crab cakes, For your entrees at lunch, you've got crab cake sliders, a prime rib sandwich, their signature stack burger, turkey club fish sandwich, gourmet grilled cheese, steak frites, the vegetable Wellington, that's also plant-based and excellent. They can also do a plant-based version of the burger, and a Salisbury steak. So this is an A-plus restaurant. You're going to get a really high-quality sandwich. They can also at times do the filet mignon upon request at lunch. I've done a full video review here of a bunch of different items, but I'm telling you, this is one of my favorite places on property. Mixing it up a little bit, this is the raspberry gin sour. It's gin, lemon juice, raspberry sage syrup. My server said it's not super sweet. I normally drink like a bourbon or a rum-based drink here. I love the Coco Boulevardier. I love their Old Fashioned. I love the Fig Manhattan. But you know what? It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon and we're going back to the Magic Kingdom. So let's have an afternoon drink. Ooh, that is nice. You gotta like gin, which I do, but it's not really piney like a lot of gin drinks. Slight sweetness from the raspberry, but you do get the tartness and a little from the lemon, and a little bit of herbiness from the sage, but mostly the strongest flavor is gin. That's a nice afternoon cocktail. We are vibing right now, friends. And here she is in all of her glory. This is the Steakhouse 71 Stack Burger. It's their signature burger, beef burger, American cheese, lemon aioli, red onion, house-made pickles on a brioche bun. Then you can either get Parmesan fries, a pasta salad, or a petite wedge salad. This is their baby version of their wedge salad, which has got house-made blue cheese dressing on it, tomatoes, red onions, bacon, and some hard-cooked egg. Their Parmesan fries are great as well, but I love wedge salads. And you know what? Sometimes you need to eat a vegetable alongside a burger. It's called balance. This burger is so darn good. It's perfectly cooked every time. There's like a little bit of sweetness from the bread, 2 patties, and the gooey cheese. The lemon aioli is perfection. I love the crunch from the pickles and red onion. You cannot do better than this burger. You're certainly not going to get a better burger inside the park. Shredded salad. Chris, love blue cheese dressing. I'm just saying, the Magic Kingdom is wonderful and magical and amazing, but it's also crowded and hot and exhausting. So you're not going to last all day. Do yourself a favor. Go do a resort break. Go to a restaurant. Have some downtime. You will thank you. Your kids will thank you. You'll avoid a meltdown possibly. And that's what we're going to do for the next hour. Thank you.
Did you guys hear when? November?
We are back in the Magic Kingdom. We had a lovely little AC cool down lunch break over at the Contemporary. And now I'm scooting to Peter Pan's flight. My goal is to be able to tap in there and then book the parade reserve viewing. Peter Pan's flight is definitely one of the most popular rides, and it has been since basically opening day in 1971. It actually opened like 2 days later. And it's just one of those popular rides. It's got a really low capacity and it's very popular. So the wait in standby is usually well over 80 minutes. And that is a long wait in a tight queue with a lot of kids getting antsy. So this is one I absolutely recommend using Genie Plus if possible. If you're not interested in Jungle Cruise, book this one first. You will probably have to book it a little bit further out and trigger that 120-minute rule. Or if you are a resort guest and you're not interested in doing Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, you would likely want to do this one as the first ride during your early theme park entry. A lot of people are like, Peter Pan's flight is overrated. And you know what? If you wait 80 minutes for anything, it's probably overrated. And so I get that complaint. But I also feel like it's one of those must-dos. It's nostalgic. It's reminds me of my childhood, so I always want to do it when I come to Magic Kingdom. So I'm telling you, Lightning Lane or get here early as a resort guest. Peter Pan's flight, check. Such a cute attraction, especially when you wait 30 seconds to ride it and not 80 minutes. A must-do for me. Also mobile ordered another iced coffee. Again, you can mobile order at both Pinocchio's Village Haas and Friar's Nook. And now, as soon as I tapped in at Peter Pan, I booked, Castle Show fireworks are happening. we're gonna see the castle show in a little bit, but it is almost parade time. And as soon as I booked Peter Pan's flight, I was able to refresh a few times and book the parade viewing. I think that's a nice to have, not need to have, which is why I didn't book it earlier to make sure I could get it. But the Festival of Fantasy Parade has returned. They've been doing it twice a day, which is great. So it's 2 times to see it. And it's a really long parade route, so you can usually get yourself a decent seat 30 or so minutes beforehand. It kicks off in Frontierland. Obviously, if you wait on Main Street, it's going to be more crowded. And on a really busy day, you know, you may want to grab a seat extra early or use the Lightning Lane reserved viewing. Made it into the reserved viewing area. This is the Lightning Lane reserved area. It's right in front of Cinderella Castle, so a great spot. Also very hot in direct sunlight. I would say if you want prime viewing of the parade, get here early, tap in right at 2:30 and you can claim your spot. I'm just one person and I'm an adult who's seen this parade several times, so I'm happy to stand a little bit further back. But especially if you've got kids and you want a spot right up against the rope, you're going to want to get into the spot a little early. The parade steps off at 3, but it does take about 20 minutes or so to get here, so you can expect to see the actual parade around 3:20. So I'm going to do a little fiddle faddling and book our next Lightning Lane while I wait. The whole time watching that parade. It's just so good. I love the music. I love seeing a parade again. And I know it's not the full parade, but it's just great to have one dancing down Main Street. Space Mountain is kind of flirting with not being available, so I refreshed it a few times and I got it to pop up for 6:50, which is actually right after my mine train, so we're good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and do some filler rides over in Tomorrowland. Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin only is a 25-minute wait, so we're going to go get in that line, see if that's true. There's also other great filler rides over here. And when I say filler rides, I don't mean anything against the attraction. I just mean attractions that don't typically have super long lines, like Peoplemover, Carousel Progress. So we're going to go spend some time in Tomorrowland. I almost forgot to share one of my favorite things to do with the Genie Plus purchase is the photo lenses that you get. You get like photo filters included if you purchase Genie Plus, and there's one only available in front of the castle, and it makes the castle look like the 25th birthday cake castle. So if you've purchased Genie Plus, make sure you get that selfie. It's a good way to pass the time if you're waiting for the parade like I was. All right, it says posted 25. It doesn't look too long, so let's hope that's accurate. Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, always one of my faves, always fun. Ended up being a little longer than 25 minutes. It was closer to about 35, but in a time when all the waits are pretty long, I will take it. And now I'm headed to Peoplemover, which has a posted 20-minute wait. So Peoplemover is like the ultimate in filler attraction. It is thebomb.com. It is the most relaxing attraction in the Magic Kingdom for sure. It's just this little train ride around Tomorrowland. You get a great view of the castle, you get a great view of the Tron construction, you see Walt Disney's model of his original idea for Epcot, And it's just the most relaxing attraction. Definitely a must. Definitely like a kind of a low-key fave for a lot of people. And it doesn't have lightning lanes, so usually doesn't have near as long a line as other things because they're not prioritizing one group. So you'll see it usually 30 minutes or under, even on a busy day, which is what I'm happy for. It's a great attraction when you're killing time during the 120-minute rule.
The Peoplemover is the perfect vehicle for people watching. So keep your eyes peeled. You never know who you might see. Transit Authority proudly presents Progress City, Walt Disney's dream for an experimental prototype community of tomorrow. Progress City was the inspiration for Epcot, and many of its forward-thinking ideas have been realized throughout Walt Disney World.
The Peoplemover is always a delightful time. 5 stars. It's just so nice to leisurely view Tomorrowland, and it's still has a 25-minute wait. Pretty much everything else in the park is looking at 45 or longer besides some of the shows. So that's a great attraction. Now I have a little bit more time in my quote dead time, which is the 120 minutes from booking a further out Space Mountain. And there's some entertainment that has returned and arrived at the Magic Kingdom. So we're gonna get a snicky snack. It's time for another feeding, and then watch some entertainment. Hello, spring rolls. These are from the Adventureland spring roll cart, which is right as you're entering Adventureland on the bridge. Normally the line's really long, but there wasn't like any line, and I think it's because I went at kind of an off time, just like eating dinner. Pro tip, go on off time. These are so good. I got one of the cheeseburger, one of the 50th, which is a pastrami and pepper jack. They are delicious. They are usually a meal for me, so this will probably be my dinner. I'm just gonna keep snacking for the rest of the day. Go check out our snack video where these took the silver, but then we're gonna watch 2 new entertainment offerings. Yes, I'm eating on a trash can. It's just one of those things, you know? That's the cheeseburger one. It's my favorite. I don't even care that I had a cheeseburger for lunch. It's everything you want a cheeseburger shoved into a crispy, crunchy egg roll. Dip it in the special sauce, which is like a Big Mac sauce. And it's beef and cheese and pickles and onion. Fabulous. And then this one, the pastrami one, I dip this one in the special sauce too, otherwise they'll give you mustard. Salty, tasty pastrami, pepper jack cheese. Fabulous. Waiting here for the Disney Adventure Friends Cavalcade. This is the brand new cavalcade that debuted this year. It's got almost 30 characters in it, including the Magic Kingdom debut of Miguel, The Incredibles, Zootopia, characters from Pocahontas and Mulan and Brave, and so many characters. This is a super fun cavalcade. Make sure you check the My Disney Experience app so you know what time. Go! Yes! Yes! Hi, Woody! Hi, Merida! Hi, Coca! Hi, Rico! Hi, Ted! Yes! Hi, Nick! Yes, Clarabelle! Yes, girl! Hi, Francisco! Hi, Stitch! I'm gonna say something possibly controversial. That Adventures Cavalcade, better than a parade. Yeah, I said it. I said it! I love the parade, don't get me wrong, you should definitely watch the parade. But the fact that there's almost 30 characters, it's very zippy, it's very quick, it's easy to get a spot. There's Zootopia characters, Clarabelle is crushing. Miguel, Woody, Pocahontas, Merida, Mulan. It's really good characters. It's not your classic characters, it's not your classic princesses, so I definitely think you should watch the Celebration Cavalcade and the parade too. But that cavalcade slaps, and I enjoy it very much. It's time for Mickey's Magical Friendship Fair. This is the return of the castle show right here at Cinderella Castle. It was Mickey's Royal Friendship Fair, but this is like the 50th twist on it, so the characters are wearing their beautiful 50th outfits. There's a new open and close and a new song, but it still features characters from Frozen and Princess and the Frog Entangled. You know me, I love Disney entertainment. These are great things to do when you have some downtime. Absolutely love the castle show as well. funny when he said he's appreciative of old friends. And also, Minnie said she hopes this was the best. She thought this was the best day ever, and Mickey said every day with you is the best day ever. And I'm unstable. Truth be told, I actually haven't seen this show since it came back. Breedlove was the one that covered it for us the first day it came back, and then every time I've tried to see it since, it's gotten rained out. And even though I'm in the parks like 4 to 5 days a week, it hasn't been my time to see the show until right now, which actually makes sense for Perfect Day because it was so good. I love live entertainment. I'm so glad it's all coming back. Adorable. Make time in your day to see things like this. The kids were loving it. There's so many great characters in it, and entertainment is part of what sets Disney apart from other theme parks. I mean, who doesn't want to watch some of the princesses and Mickey and the gang dancing on Cinderella Castle stage? I do. Photo PSA. I assume a nice graphic is there. Thank you to the best editor in the world. A very nice family just asked me to take their photo in front of the castle. I happily obliged. But, as a pro tip, do not take your family photo right here. Do you know these people? You don't want them in your picture. Where you need to go is to the sides. So either as you're headed towards Liberty Square, there's a pathway up. As you're headed to Tomorrowland, there's a path. Or when the show's not happening, when they drop these ropes, the ramp's up. If you can go from the side, the castle's still gorgeous, I promise. Strangers aren't in your Christmas card. That's my pro tip. Here's some examples. And usually there is PhotoPass on the Liberty Square side and the Toronto side. Anyway, we're headed to Fantasyland because my Seven Dwarfs Mine Train Lightning Lane is in about 30 minutes. And we're gonna go do some filler attractions in there. By the time I got to Small World, it was 50 because it looks like everybody saw that it was 25 rank online. But that's okay because we can get a lightning lane for that later if we want. And we're gonna go do the carousel, which is low-key one of my favorite things at Fantasyland. Prince Charming Regal Carousel does not have lightning lanes, so you want to catch it when it's a lower weight. Recently it has been getting up a little bit higher, like peak midday, because everybody's in Fantasyland, so it's been getting up to like 30, 45 minutes sometimes, but right now it's just 15 minutes, and I love a carousel. I know it's simple, but it's just sweet and lovely and magical. Now, we have to look for Cinderella's horse. It's the one with the golden ribbon in its tail. And we have to be prepared to knock a child down to get it. Someone got it. Ugh. I guess you'll have to do. Good work, boy. Next up, PhilharMagic. This is that 3D show with Mickey and classic Disney music. And they recently, well, several months ago at this point, added Coco. It's super cute. This is one of my other favorite fillers because it's really fun for everyone. You'll have a big dumb smile on your face the whole time. It's good Disney music. It's sitting, air conditioning. Kids and adults alike will enjoy this one. So we've got about 15 more minutes. What better use of time? This does have lightning lane. You really don't need to use it here. And if it ever says more than 15 minutes, it says about 15 minutes because that's how many shows you'll have to wait for, basically. So if it says 30 or 45 minutes, you're going to be waiting for like 2 or 3 shows. So I recommend waiting till it drops to 15, but it's really, really cute and one of the best underrated things in this park. Mickey's PhilharMagic was so great. It is such a cute show. I love the Coco edition. Definitely a great, probably not like a must-do for most people, but a great time killer, filler, get out of the heat attraction. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is the remaining fancy ride in this park since Space Mountain is currently part of Genie Plus. It was $10 for me to book it today, which I know is a lot when you add up multiple people. So my recommendation, if you would like to not pay for it, again, if you are a resort guest, get here early for that early theme park admission and head straight here. If you're not a resort guest, you can try doing it first thing in the morning, but they will have the jump on you. So it will probably be around 60 to 80 minutes, which is likely lower than it will be the rest of the day. Or wait till last thing at night. You can always jump in a ride queue 1 minute before the park closes, and even if it's an hour long, you can ride it, but it still will probably be a little lengthy that late. This one doesn't really have a drop time of day where it goes down a little bit, so it's just up to you if you want to ride it, if you want to pay for it or not. Oh my gosh, that ride is so fun. I don't ride it frequently because it always has a very long line. Like right now it's 95 minutes. It was 1:30 earlier today. But it is so fun every time I ride it. I love that the cars swing back and forth. It's got a little more zip than you think. It's a really great attraction, but I understand if you don't want to wait 2 hours for it. Also, who were they designing those seats for? Children? Just children? Those things are snug. It's finally time to use that Space Mountain pass I booked a while ago as well. So headed back to Tomorrowland. I know I'm zigzagging at this point. I tried not to as much earlier, but with this park, like Studios, when you can get the genies that you want, you gotta snag them. So it's really hard to just go in a circle unless you're prepared to wait in some long lines. Space Mountain time. This is one of my fave rides of all time. It's one of the very few rides that's a Disney World original instead of a Disneyland copycat. Woo! I love, love, love this ride. No, there's no graceful way to get out. Wowzers, do I love that ride. It is so fun. And there's people that are like, Disneyland's is better. And this is one of the rare times I think Magic Kingdom's is better. And I love that need a chiropractor after feeling. Oh, it's so fun. I was able to secure a Splash Mountain lightning lane for not too far from now. It has come back up. So we're headed back over there. I'm also gonna get a treat. I bet you can guess what treat I'm gonna get on that side of the park. An absolute must-have. And I'm gonna hope Pirates either drops a little bit lower than the 40 it is right now, or Lightning Lane becomes available for Pirates after Splash, because that would pretty much knock out that side of the park, and then we only have some Fantasyland stuff left besides, of course, fireworks. Made it to Aloha Isle for my must-have Magic Kingdom snack, a Dole Whip. I actually did this mobile order about an hour and a half ago because these ones tend to fill up quick. So if you have a vague idea of when you're going to want to eat your Dole Whip, go ahead and mobile order as soon as you can. You can always adjust the time and move it back if needed, but you often can't move it forward. So there are several different flavors of the iconic Dole Whip here at Aloha Isle currently. Of course, there's pineapple, which you can get in a float. You can get swirled. There's my favorite, coconut. There is raspberry, and there's also lime right now for one of the 50th floats. And then there's a variety of different 50th floats. If you're going to do a float, I recommend the Tropical Serenade, which is coconut Dole Whip with the Pog juice, the iconic Pog juice. But for me, I go with the simple cup because it's so good on its own. Here she is in all her glory, coconut Dole Whip. It's actually soft serve because there is dairy in it, unlike the fruit Dole Whips, which are plant-based, but it's my all-time favorite. It's so creamy and coconutty and delicious. It's my favorite sweet treat in the Magic Kingdom. A+, you have to get a Dole Whip. Get whatever flavor tickles your fancy. Get a swirl, get a float, but Dole Whip, #1 must-have when you're in Magic Kingdom. And as a pro tip, it will melt a lot faster than it will right now, but if you wanted to, you could time it so that you pick up your Dole Whip, walk through the breezeway right there, and then be in Frontierland right on the parade route. So you could time it with the cavalcade or the parade if you wanted to get crazy. Even though my splash window opens in 5 minutes, I'm gonna go ride Pirates first because Pirates is down to a 20-minute standby. So I'm gonna jump on that. You have an hour window when you ride Genie Plus, so for example, mine's 7:45 to 8:45. I don't have to be there at 7:45. I can ride anytime within that window. As you can see, Pirates will drop. It definitely was very long all day. It was low this morning when I went and rode Thunder. I could have walked onto Pirates if I had chosen that instead. It's obviously dropped now. It'll probably stay pretty low throughout the rest of the night, so you could also jump on it last thing at night. Because again, this side of the park not open during those early park hours. So early or late is good for this one unless you are able to snag a lightning lane. But I wouldn't prioritize this one over like the mountains because those are all still long, whereas this one is dropped. Pirate win!
I am not chicken. I will not talk.
How foolish someone leaving so much gold is lying about anywhere. Some mystery that might be tempted to steal, right?
I adore that attraction. It took about 25 minutes, so pretty accurate. Now I'm scooting as fast as I can to Splash because we're going to be cutting it really close to fireworks. But I think we can make it. All right, as much as I do not like getting wet, Splash Mountain at night is very fun because the view from the top of the big drop is excellent. So I guess I'm excited to ride it at night. But I'm not excited about possibly getting wet, especially because now that the sun has gone down, it's a little unseasonably chilly. Oof, still has a 75-minute wait, and look how backed up the lightning lane is. This is spicy with fireworks about to happen. This little backup is likely because since this attraction had a downtime earlier, when you have a downtime and you have a Genie Plus lightning lane, they give you a pass to come back later. And so people are coming back later. But I'm hoping this won't take too long.
Look at that, Caleb.
Hands up for
I want to see this here land and raise up and way around this company. Let me go!
I got way wetter in my face than I'm used to. Didn't care for it. Now I am scurrying to fireworks because, of course, it broke with me on it. Like, the lights came on, it was very annoying. Splash. Not part of my perfect day. I don't like getting wet. It does have a lot of technical difficulties. This one's a great one to do first thing in the morning, if it opens on time, or Little Lightning Lane, or later at night. It still has like a 55-minute wait though, but right before park close, jump in line if it's still open. It is pretty at night, I will admit that, but now we scurry. Now, for the record, I'm not one of those people that believes you need to stake out a fireworks spot for like 3 hours, but I'm also not one that would advise most people to cut it this close. I feel like because they're big and in the sky, you can get a pretty decent spot most days. 30 minutes. It's usually good for me. I've come up a lot less as well. I like to stand on Main Street for these because I like the projections on Main Street, but closer to the castle. Not ever closer than Walt and Mickey though, because then you don't really see the fireworks. It's my preferred viewing. I like to be on Main Street somewhere. I know lots of people like to be like in Fantasyland and other places around the park, but the projections are what make this show special. They're magic. Whew. I do love that show. I think it's great. I'm a Wishes fan, so I refuse to enter this happily ever after enchantment chat. Okay, now we're swimming upstream because we're not leaving yet. We're still partying. The park doesn't actually close until 10. Fireworks are at 9. And right now, Main Street is a mess. So we are cutting through the Emporium. The lines for the monorail and the buses and the boats are going to be miles long right now. Sorry, I've been derailed. Do I need this jacket? It's $120. But I love a jean jacket, and it's got Pocahontas. There's also a Tiana one and a Cindy one. These are fabulous. Okay, I don't need a $120 jacket. I live in Florida. If you don't have to, don't leave when the park closes. I booked a Small World Lightning Lane, but basically nothing has a line right now. The only things that have a significant line still are Splash, Space, and Mine Train. Everything else is very low. Make a meeting place and then fight your way to that spot. Enjoy a few more rides, and then don't deal with this. You know what I mean? The cast is doing a great job organizing people. They're telling people leaving, go one way. People that are staying, go the other way. They have one of the bypasses open, which means they've opened up a backstage area to help funnel people out instead of only having Main Street. Please listen to the cast members. You have no idea how hard it is to be a parade control cast member or fireworks control cast member. I picked up a few shifts back in my day, and it was horrible. People are yelling at you because they want to stand places. People don't understand that some places are barred off for safety or reserved viewing or wheelchair viewing or whatever it is, and people scream at you. And just please, even if it doesn't make sense to you, they didn't make the rules up. Listen to where they tell you to go. And be nice, as always. There's my Be Nice to Cast Members PSA for this video. All right, goodbye, beautiful castle. We're going to come stare at you later. And now we're gonna fight our way with a decent amount of people, but nowhere near as many people that are trying to exit the park. Now I will say, there is some parts of Fantasyland that are gonna be roped off, like this bridge from Liberty Square is currently roped off. That's a fireworks fallout area, so you have to wait for the cast members to clear it. I booked a Small World Fast Pass after I tapped in at Splash, so I'm gonna go around the backside. Not that I need it, it's a 5-minute wait. Thank you. Oh, don't you just love the Mary Blair facade with the pops of color for the 50th? We love it. About 15 minutes left of park time. Fantasyland is just a special kind of magical at night, which is why I saved this land for the evening time. I didn't want to wait in like 35, 45, 55-minute long lines for rides like Small World and Winnie the Pooh earlier, which is where we're headed next, because they're walk-ons now, but I also didn't want to waste valuable Genie Plus time when I was trying to pull things like Space Mountain and Splash Mountain. So that's why I saved these rides for last. But I do recommend, no matter what, going into the park again after fireworks if you're able, because I promise by the time I get to the monorail line, it will be a lot shorter than it was at 9:20 right after Enchantment. Whee! To Winnie the Pooh. It says 20, but I don't believe it. 14 minutes of park close, till park close. Can we make it to one more after this? Only time will tell. Mini Adventures of Winnie the Pooh is so darn cute. I love bouncing with Tigger. He's one of my favorite characters. What a great ride. It was definitely like 5 minutes, not 20. I'm telling you, if you've got older kids especially, or your adults who want to play in Fantasyland, now's the time. Definitely try and use Genie Plus if you're getting it for Peter Pan's Flight, for Mine Train. These smaller rides, you can bang, 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 knock a bunch of them out in the evening. And we have 2 minutes to get to Dumbo. Whew. I'm walking quickly and reading so we can do a final wait time check. 5 minutes at Dumbo, 5 minutes at Small World, 20 at Pooh, which we saw wasn't true. 15 at Pirates, Splash is closed, Mermaid is closed. 35 at Astro Orbiter, that's because everyone tries to ride it at night because it's much better at night. 5 at Barnstormer, 30 at Thunder, also great at night. 10 at Buzz, 13 at Haunted Mansion, which is their fun little thing they do when it's a walk-on. 45 still at Jungle. 10 at Tea Party, 10 at Magic Carpets of Aladdin. 15 at Philhar, which is just the last little walk. Hello! I made it, yay! Peter Pan 40, Carousel 20, great at night. Mine Train 75, Space 40, 25 at Speedway, 10 at Peoplemovers. I believe the Clemson Dumbo is on this one side of the Dumbos, so I will be attempting to fly in that. Wait, I think this side has two, weirdly. Did I get it? Did I get it? Did I get it? I will raise a child. Yes! Clemson Dumbo! at the Clemson Dumbo. That ride is so beautiful at night. I love Dumbo. It's a classic. It's quintessential must-do. You are legally required to bring your kids on Dumbo the first time they come. I don't care if it's your adult kids. And walked right on at the Clemson Dumbo, which is the orange and purple one. And it's just beautiful at night. The rainbow water, you can see the castle. Now, let's walk through a much emptier Magic Kingdom. We've got one more last surprise. As we head back to Main Street to look at the castle at night and round out the perfect day we had, let's go over some of my best pro tips. Number 1, rope drop. If you are a resort guest, get here for early theme park entry and hit the highlights in Fantasyland, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, or Peter Pan's Flight, or Tomorrowland, like Space Mountain. My recommendation is very strongly Fantasyland, especially if you don't plan on purchasing any lightning lanes. If you are not a resort guest, rope drop to the left. I highly recommend Jungle Cruise if you're not purchasing Genie Plus. Otherwise, Pirates of the Caribbean, Splash Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, or Haunted Mansion are great choices. No matter who you are, if you're purchasing Genie Plus, my best recommendations for your first ride at 7 a.m. are either Jungle Cruise or Peter Pan's Flight. Next pro tip, mobile order off-peak times and try and eat off-peak times. That helped me not wait in a line at the spring roll cart, not wait in a long line to get my Dole Whip. You'll likely be able to find a table easier and get your food faster. Speaking of food, don't forget that you can mobile order coffee 2 places in Fantasyland, Pinocchio's Village House, and Friar's Nook. Next tip, make sure you plan a break. This park is exhausting, and if you want to get it all done, you have to get here early and stay late, as I did today. Make sure you plan some calm time, whether it be at one of the monorail resorts like we did today or going back to your resort. Make sure you plan at least an hour or so where you're out of the heat, out of the park, out of the crowd to regroup and recoup. Next up, using a mix of lightning lanes and standby is how I recommend doing this park. I know it's a bummer that Genie Plus costs money, but you saw the wait times today. It's spring break. It's been busy all year. That's what you're looking at. There's no way to do everything in this park, especially not without purchasing Genie Plus. Being flexible can go a long way as well. You saw that I had several things pinned that I wanted to do, and I would book the ones that I could and then watch the other ones for the wait times. Use those filler attractions to your advantage as well. Things such as meeting characters, Mickey's PhilharMagic, Peoplemover, Tiki Broom, Country Bears. Those are great attractions to do in between those lightning lanes. Make sure you understand the 120-minute rule, and make sure you set an alarm when you're able to book another one so you don't waste any time. Fiddle faddle, fiddle faddle, fiddle faddle, refresh, refresh, refresh. It will be your best friend when it comes to booking lightning lanes. For Disney Enchantment, you don't need to get there super early, in my opinion. Just be able to grab somewhere on Main Street. In my opinion, you can show up about 30 minutes or so and be able to get a good spot. However, if you've never seen the show or you want the pristine spot, feel free to wait out there as long as you'd like, but I usually don't have an issue showing up rather late. I am just one person though, so keep that in mind. If you do want the perfect view, you may want to look into booking some kind of dessert party. I've done a dessert party throwdown where I share the differences in some of the options, so you might want to look into that. But I do think even on a busy day, you don't need to wait hours and hours for a fireworks spot. As long as you can see the castle, as long as you can see the projections and the sky, you're usually pretty good in my opinion. One of my biggest tips for any theme park, especially the Magic Kingdom when you're coming during a busy season, is make a list of your top priorities. Write down the rides, the snacks, the things you want to do, and make sure you get those things done. Make a plan to get those things done, and then anything else you get to do is gravy. Don't skip the entertainment. I know it's easy to say, I don't care about the cavalcades, I don't care about the castle show, I don't care about the parade. But in my opinion, those are some of the things that make Disney the most magical and the most special. So they were all great today. They were some of my favorite things throughout the day, was seeing Mickey's Magical Friendship Fair, seeing the Adventurers Cavalcade, and seeing the parade. Don't leave immediately after fireworks. The lines for transportation are going to be very, very busy. You can get on a few rides without any wait at all, or you can get on a ride you weren't able to get on with a shorter wait, or at least you're waiting when the park's not actually open. Plus, you can spend a lovely evening time on Main Street and through Fantasyland and get some incredible photos and video and not be rushed out of the park. Another little pro tip, if you can wait till after fireworks to eat dinner, I know it's tricky with little ones, but if you can pull like a 9:30 Be Our Guest or Crystal Palace or Liberty Tree, that by the time your meal's done, you can come out to an almost empty Main Street. And last, but certainly not least, the #1 tip when coming to the Magic Kingdom, especially during busy season, pack those patient pants. Things are going to go wrong. Something's not going to go according to plan. A kid's going to have a meltdown. A ride's going to break down. A snack you wanted isn't going to be available. Something will go wrong every day that you come to a Disney theme park. I'm not trying to be pessimistic. That's just the reality from someone who goes to a theme park almost every single day. But if you watch our videos, if you plan accordingly, if you learn how to use Genie Plus, if you make a plan, if you make that list of your must-dos, you can have a really perfect day. Because let's be honest, any day in the Magic Kingdom is pretty perfect. Okay, once you've finished taking all your amazing castle photos, which I don't blame you, I just took a bunch as if I don't have any photos of the castle. But take some amazing castle photos at night. Please do it. She is beautiful for the 50th. I mean, absolutely OMG stunning. There's 1 to 2 more stops you may want to make. Some people know that the Emporium and some of the other shops are open late on Main Street USA. That way, if you wanted to grab something on your way out, you sure can. But the Confectionary is one of those shops, and you can mobile order for up to an hour after park close. So a while ago, I mobile ordered myself a little treat, a little end of the night treat. We're gonna go pick it up. The Main Street Confectionary has recently reopened, and it's really using their partnership with M&M Mars, so lots of the treats are unique to the bakery that you can't get at the other bakery cases. Things with M&Ms and Snickers and Twix and Skittles. So I mobile ordered and it's ready, so I'm going to the mobile order pickup. My favorite thing from the Eating Everything on Main Street that I found here, that I did with Quincy, which we can link for you, an M&M cookie pie. And I don't have to wait in this super long line to eat it. And the best part, it comes in a little baggie, in a bag, so you can eat what you want, take the rest home. It's like a giant peanut butter cookie with peanut butter M&Ms on it. It's amazing. What better way to end the night than a treat? Well, that wraps up a perfect day here at Magic Kingdom. Hopefully you learned some good tips and tricks. Share your favorite Magic Kingdom ride down in the comments. Look for a Magic Kingdom Genie Plus video coming soon. Until next time, friends, it's been magical. Now go watch Perfect Day in Hollywood Studios. Bye!